Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Joffrey Noodle Legs here today. Hope you're all doing well. I'm here today with another Noodle film review. Today we're looking at Paranormal Activity 3. Now you're all saying, but Joff, why haven't you done number 2? You've reviewed number 1, but number 2. Because I'm not going to review the whole series. Just because the films are quite similar in style. So I just don't want to be putting out 6 or 7 reviews of the same sort of film. It would be like me doing every sort of Hammer Dracula, where they're all pretty much quite similar in a lot of ways, and I don't want to do that. But so I've picked out my 2 favourites to review, which is number 1 and number 3. And I shall probably review Next of Kin because it's the one I've not seen yet. So but I'm working my way through it. Last night I watched my favourite one, number 3. So this is the edition. It's a Blu-ray edition, and it's from the new Ultimate Collection box set of Paranormal Activity, which includes all 7 films and a feature-length documentary. And Next of Kin is only available physically in that box. So, I'll give you a little synopsis. This is a bit of a strange one. Now, the whole series is a bit strange, Paranormal Activity, in the sense the way it's set out, because the first one is about Katie and Mikhail, isn't it? Then the second one is based just slightly after. Um, no, actually, it's based slightly just before what's happened between Katie and Mikhail. And this one is set even further before that, when Katie and her sister were little girls, and it's based when they were kids. So it's a kind of strange story where it's gone backwards and not forwards. So there we go. But this one starts off with sort of like clips from sort of like the first sort of film, and when they're having like you see Katie and everyone, and they've moved into the new house, Katie's sister and Katie's asked them to mine some boxes for them and put them into the cellar. And if you've seen the third one, I mean the second one, you'll know what how that sort of like turns out. Anyway, so they put the boxes in the cellar, and in the boxes they find loads of VHS tapes, and I think it's supposed to be them watching the VHS tapes when they were little. So it starts off when they're like little girls at a birthday party. And you're beautiful. I don't know how you do it. Birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Katie. Happy birthday to you. Oh, good job. All right, here's the birthday girl. She looks pretty unhappy. Something's going on. We got the young one. Under the trampoline. So yeah, this is Katie's birthday party. She's the oldest of the sisters. So it sort of like goes to sort of like the birthday party, and then the film cuts back to they're watching tapes of like again and this is supposed to be now in the 1980s, and the youngest sister's got like a little imaginary friend called Toby. So she sort of like talks to them quite a lot. And there's like all sorts of like family. You're just getting to know the family at this time, and they're talking about the girl losing her little tooth and putting it unwrapping it in tissue for the tooth fairy, and you get all this sort of story going on, and then the film sort of breaks to um that you sort of get the set up of the house, and it's kind of set up a bit strange. It's like they're the kids' bedroom seems to be in like almost like a kind of like hallway, up the top of the stairs. There's no sort of actual room. You go up top of the stairs and you're in their sort of bedroom area, and they've got like a little cupboard there, which I think that's where Toby's supposed to live, and they've got a bathroom up there. So then you get to see they're having their photos taken out on their sort of like their driveway. All right. There it goes.
They had their photo, and that's quite important because if you're remembering, if you've seen the first one, you'll know that the photo that was found in the attic is that photo that you see there. So it's quite an important little clip, that, because you sort of go, that, okay, I know that's from. And then you cut to everyone's out of the house apart from the dad, and he's the first one to notice any noises happening.
Julie? Hello? Julie?
So he's following these noises. He doesn't know where they're coming from. And that sort of goes on for a little bit. And then the noises seem to take him up to the sort of girls' bedroom area. And this is where we see the area where the two girls sort of stay.
Eddie? Did you fall down? What was that?
Oh, he's found that the noise is coming from upstairs and the toy is falling on the floor. And then he goes to see that little cupboard, which I told you about, where Toby's supposed to live. So he has a little look in there.
Oh. Hey.
Hey, what you doing?
Nothing. I was just looking around. What, you guys just get home?
Yeah.
Oh.
Those girls day.
I know. How was it? Was it fun?
Great.
You just really snuck up on me there. All right. It's time.
Don't film me.
So he decides after then to set cameras up in the house, mostly where the girls are and in his bedroom. So him and his wife decide to have a little fun time, which obviously I can't show you too much of that, but it doesn't get very far anyway. But whilst they're in the midst of that, they get disturbed by, I suppose they think it's an earthquake. So that's quite spooky. So if you looked at the end of that clip, you would have seen the dust fall down and giving the sort of silhouette shape of somebody being there, which is really creepy. Anyway, so then it cuts to the guy and his buddy comes round and he shows him the tapes.
Did you really? On tape. Scared, right? Really? It's nothing. It's nothing. We're gonna. That a sex tape? Yeah, I got this weird thing happened after.
Sure, you make a sex tape?
Yeah, but it got interrupted by the earthquake.
I wouldn't let anything interrupt that.
Relax, man. Just
Let me
relax.
just shuttle
Would you just
forward.
stop?
Let me
Would you
slow-mo
just
shuttle
stop?
forward.
Just shut up. Check this out. Ready? All right. Let me tweak the contrast here. I'm gonna take the color out.
It looks like dust has fallen on something.
Looks like a figure, right? You see that?
Yeah.
Did you catch that? Did you see the dust move? It moved, right?
What was that?
Check it out. It's weird, right?
Kind of weird.
You know, I've been hearing these noises in the girls' room lately. I don't know. I feel like it's something weird's going on. Julie?
And so when we got past all this, we then finally get to night one. So there on night one, not too much happens apart from obviously the light going on and off, and you see the young sister going up and supposedly talking to Toby. And then the next day, the dad sort of sits her down and questions her about it.
Late last night.
If you saw me talking to somebody, it'll be Toby.
Toby's your friend?
Yes. He's my friend.
Yeah. What do you guys talk about?
Secrets.
He's big.
Mm-hmm.
So is he old like grandma, or is he young like you?
He's old like grandma.
And what does he look like? Is he tall? Is he
He's
fat?
tall.
We cut a bit further into the story, and the father and his best mate start hearing noises around the house coming from the bathroom area. So they go to investigate it.
Holy shit. Holy shit. That's not funny. Oh my god.
Oh, I got you. I got you good.
Dennis, go ahead and take your crap right there, because I'm in the crap.
So I'm hoping that that jump scare got you a bit there, because it got me. And then it cuts to the night time, and for some bizarre reason, they're letting the two girls camp in the tent outside the house.
How you doing? Good.
That's a little bright.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey guys, don't tell mom, okay? Alright, what are you guys doing?
You'll see. We got a little surprise for you. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, ow. Here, tickle torture, tickle torture, tickle torture.
And again, not too much happens on that night. The light goes on off, and they hear a bit of noise. So they go and investigate. They see the girls are still not in their beds, and they check and they're fine in the tent. So they go and disturb the girls and wake them up, and they say, "Come into the house anyway." Then it cuts to the next day, and then we meet the mother of the mother of the two girls.
You know, it's a whole different thing. Oh my God, Mom, I just told you I don't want to have any more kids. I'm not gonna get pregnant.
You always said you wanted a big family.
I changed my mind. Okay, I have two beautiful girls.
You always wanted a son.
Happy with the way things are. Let's go.
Oh, this is great. Hang on. That's great. Katie, that's great. You're doing really good. Let her go, Joel.
Dennis, I totally believe in this shit.
Good. Watch behind you. All right, nice and slow.
My brother saw one once.
Really?
Yeah.
What's Bloody Mary?
You don't know Bloody Mary? It's where you go in the bathroom and you say Bloody Mary 3 times in the mirror and then you see a ghost.
Dennis, I want to play Bloody Mary.
Nothing. Don't worry.
You say Bloody Mary 3
Now we've met her, and she becomes prevalent in the story a bit later on, but it's quite um, worrying that she really wants her daughter to have another baby because they want them to have a baby boy. And if you've seen the second one, and that you'll know why. Anyway, then it cuts to the dad, and he's made a device out of his wife's fan to put the camera on, so it can it can turn and see the whole sort of room.
What is that?
Check it out. What do you think? It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah. What is it?
I took your fan and basically took it apart. Basically, the oscillator on the fan allows me to see both in the living room and in the kitchen.
What? You broke my fan?
I can put it back together.
Okay, whatever.
It's cool, right?
Then we cut to the next night, and we see the little girl sort of running around, I suppose playing with Toby. Going the next day, and the two sisters are sort of like having a sort of a disagreement, fallout about Toby, and Kate saying he doesn't exist, he's not real, there's nobody living in that little cupboard. So then Kate goes into the little cupboard.
You shouldn't have did that. Open the door. It's not me. I'm not here.
Stop fighting right this second. Why is there this camera on the floor? Katie, you can't. Stop fighting right this second. I don't want to.
Okay, so some strange happenings happening. Then it gets to another night, and strange things happen to the mother in the kitchen. And in the next night, they're going out for I don't know where they're going out, maybe out for dinner. The husband and the wife and the daughters are staying at home with a babysitter, and the babysitter sort of experiences some rather strange happenings. And that's all I'm going to tell you. So quite a bit more happens in this film. As you can see, it's quite more. There's quite a few more jump scares and scary, and it does get really, really scary. It freaks me out, this film, and it still does. You know, I watched the first one the other night, and it really, really freaked me out. I forgot how freaky it was. And the second one, I wasn't as freaked out too much as that one. It was a really scary film, but it didn't freak me out as much as one. But this one does. It's as bad as the first one, and it did really scare me. So what do I think of the film? It's amazing. It's still really, really scary to this day. Absolutely love the film. It's such a cool film. The pluses of this one is the transfer is still good. It's still the Blu-ray. I don't think they've updated it or anything. But it's still a really nice transfer. It's still really believable. It's I like the way the story's sort of going back. Sorry about that. As I was saying, I like the way the story's actually going backwards rather than forwards you know, I mean, because normally when you think 2 and 3, 4, story's gonna progress. But at the moment the story's going backwards, which I quite like, because it's sort of like explaining things of why this happened in the first film and stuff like that. So I quite like that. So that's really cool. Negatives of the film, there isn't really any, to be honest. I mean, it's a great film. I can't just put negatives up if there ain't any, can I? You know, so that's it. The negatives probably would only be that it's not updated in this, you know, in the picture quality or anything like that, or they've not done or added anything new to it. That's the only negative about this actual edition, but not the film. But I'm going to score this an awesome watch and give it a 9 out of 10. Fantastic. The second one I didn't review, I'm going to give that an excellent watch as well, and give that an 8 out of 10. So we've got Paranormal Activity 1, 9 out of 10. 2, 8 out of 10, 3, 9 out of 10. So we're getting there, aren't we? And when I review next of kin, I'll put scores on of what the other ones are. Then we can give you a complete score of the box set. Great film, 9 out of 10. So that's my little review of Paranormal Activity 3. It's a great film because it explains a lot of things that happened in 1 and little bits of 2. It's fantastic. Really enjoyed it. That's a great watch. These films are freaking me out. So I'm going to have a little break from them for a little while, because they are scary films. They're cleverly made and they are awesome. They're just scary. And they just are. Please be wary of that. That if you are of sort of like vulnerable and sort of like get scared quick, I wouldn't advise watching the films, guys, because they are spooky, because they're realistic and they're sort of found footage, like it's a real family just setting up cameras and catching all this stuff on it. It can really freak you out, especially if you're at night time and you start hearing noises afterwards. So just be wary of that if you're going to go into eventually watching these. But if you don't have any worries with it, go watch them, because if you haven't seen them, you're missing out on one of the best horror franchises of modern times. You know what I mean? There hasn't been any franchises really since sort of Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Child Play that have really grabbed my sort of like, yeah, this is incredible, and this is one of them. I was hoping Blair Witch would have done the same, but it seems to have taken a different direction and not really done much with that. But yeah, please watch those films. Really great. Please go and check out some horror channels for me, guys, till the next video. Check out Horror Hands, check out the Horror Geek, check out Man v Film, check out Pizzlewell, check out I Am Ice Lord, RS Designs, Sarah of Horror, and Horror in Todd's. Check all these great channels out for me, guys. Until next time, you look after yourselves. Don't be afraid of the dark. Look after one another, and I really hope I'll see you all soon.